Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everyone. A brand new week here on the Cabral Concept. So glad to be joining you here today. Excited for this new week. And today I wanted to share with you, I believe it's one of the best ways to start the week, is a new way of looking at your goals. Probably a simpler way of focusing on the goals and only the goals that actually matter in your life. And what I want to do is pay forward a brilliant pioneer in the field of self-improvement, and that is Brian Tracy. You may have heard Brian Tracy at one of the over 5,000 seminars that he's done and talks, or read one of his many books. But I've known about Brian Tracy now for about 20 years, and I think one of the nice things is, and I'm not doing it necessarily to be nice, I'm doing it because I think there's a lot of benefit in it. And I also believe that it's the right thing to do, meaning that so many people today in the 2020s, right, that are taking credit for work that is not necessarily theirs. And what I like to do is always give credit where credit's due, because all of us, depending on where we are in our field and the influence that we may have, we're always standing on the shoulders of giants, right? And that's a nice little quote from Tony Robbins and his mentor, Jim Rohn, as well. And then his mentor, Earl Nightingale, right? So everybody has a mentor. It's why I always try to pay tribute to my mentor, Dr. Pete. Dr. Pete was an influencer in naturopathy and Ayurveda. Maybe not on the stage that we have today, but maybe she would have if she was, able to do that in this day and age. So I say that to you because as we are taking credit for work that may or may not be ours, why not give some credit to those that have come before us? So you can check out Brian Tracy's work. I think just that is literally his name, his website, yes, which is briantracy.com. And what I'd like to do is share with you a simplified version of his goal setting and achievement plan. And one of the reasons why I do like it so much is because it's so simple. It's 5 steps. He typically outlines it as 7, but if we just combine some simple ones, it becomes 5. Really, really easy. And again, my job is to say, okay, how can we do this for the greatest amount of people to have the greatest amount of impact? Because if people are living happier, healthier, and just more fulfilled lives, the world's a better place. There's just no doubt about it. I mean, the world is literally a better place if the people in the world have more of what they want for the good, right? And they're happier, right? That's just the way that it is. So that is the reason why I do the Monday podcast. I truly believe that it's not just about getting the body healthy, but the mind as well. I believe our physiology, our body affects our mind, but I also believe our psychology affects our physiology. And these are scientifically proven. So without further ado, let's dive into the simple 5-step goal achievement plan that has been taken from Brian Tracy's work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to simplify it, keep it clean, keep it easy, and any notes that I have for you are going to be right at stephencabral.com/2299. All right. So first things first, what you want to do is you want to think of the 10 goals that you want to accomplish in a year's time. All right. So maybe since there's only half a year or so left, depending on, of course, when you're listening to the show, you might want to just come up with 5 for this year. And it doesn't have to be even that many, but never more. And the reason is that there's only so much time, as I've talked about on previous Mindset and Motivation Mondays, to accomplish your big goals. So I truly believe that you can accomplish everything that you would like to in your lifetime, just not necessarily this month or maybe even this week, right? So let's give ourselves just a little bit of time. So what I'd like you to do is write down your top 10 goals that you want to achieve in the next 12 months. Now, what I recommend from here, and so does Brian Tracy, that you write it in the present tense. So let's say that you want to overcome a thyroid-based issue. Okay, you're going to write, I have a healthy thyroid. I am healthy. I have optimized my health. I am feeling great. I do have lots of energy. Like whatever your symptoms are, you're going to basically say the opposite of what you want. You just want to make it real. That's all. You just want to put it in the present tense. Now, again, this is not woo-woo science or anything like that. We're literally trying to rewire our subconscious brain. This is not the only step. This is the first step, right? So this is the first step. So you want to write them down, put them in the present tense. So again, you may want to listen to this podcast a little later in the day when you're not driving. So listen to it once now, and then when you can actually sit down and take out your journal, like I always have mine right here. It's just a moleskin notebook. And I probably fill 2 of those a year. So, and yeah, that's about right, because this one's almost filled and we're about almost 6 months through the year. So again, this is the one that I use. I have all sorts of different ones from previous years lying around. And as the years go by, you learn more and more, and you kind of look back at those previous journals. You're like, wow, look what I used to think. And so it's kind of fun looking back at those. It's not a diary. You can keep a diary if you want. I like to write thoughts. I like to write goals. I like to write my mission. I like to work out problems in my head. All of those different things. Sometimes it's drawing, sometimes it's diagrams, sometimes it's writing. It's kind of whatever I'm feeling that I want to get on paper. And your journal's your journal, and you can do with it what you choose, right? And it can be private. Nobody reads my journal except for me. So that is that. So write down 10 goals that you want to accomplish in the next 12 months, and please write them in the present tense. You can use I earn X number of dollars, or I earned in terms of a certification. I guess that's past tense, but I am, you could say, a health coach. I am a real estate agent. I am whatever you want it to be, right? So you've got that. Now you could put in I own in there. I have. Any of those work. All right. So just write down what your goals are. Don't worry about the present tense now. And then just take what those are and you just put them in simple present tense. Okay. So that's step number 1. Write down your goals. Step number 2, and I really like this, and I'm going to add a little ad lib here from Brian's steps. But what I like you to do right now is reorder the 10. From most important to least important. So I think it's also Brian Tracy that wrote a book. Did he write a book called Eat That Frog? Let's see. Eat That Frog. Let's see if he wrote that book. And he did. All right. So there we go. He actually said this as well. I've read so many of Brian's books. But essentially, you're going to come up with your to-do list for the day, or in this case, your top 10 goals, but you're going to have a 1A and 1B. That means no matter what, even if the other 8 are not achieved, these 2 goals are being achieved. That's why if you listen to my Mindset of Motivation Mondays, I'm always saying just choose 1 to maybe 2 goals at a time. So that why? So that you can just stay laser focused on those, so that if you only achieve those things, well, you'll be light years ahead. Just think about it. How many goals have you had that you've had them now for a year, 2 years, 10 years, right? And they just haven't come true. Why? Because you're so busy. You have so much to do. Well, the thing is, yeah, so does everybody. Totally get it. I agree. And I've been there myself. But if you just choose 1 or 2 maximum, and then you carve out the 30 minutes a day, 60 minutes a day, as I've shared before, and how you can break out your day, you're going to be able to accomplish it. You really are. All right. So write down your goals. And then I recommend reorganizing them with the 1A and 1B. All right. Then what you want to do is set a deadline, and you want it to be realistic. So what I'm going to do is link up a few more podcasts for you. The first one is I'm going to put it in there for throwing away your to-do list and doing this instead. So I'm going to have my team link that up at $22.99. Then I'm also going to link one up on SMART goals. I can't go through what SMART goals are today, but it's a way to get specific, measurable, and we just kind of go through the whole thing of setting deadlines. Because your goal might be to lose 50 pounds, but you can't set a deadline of 1 month. That just doesn't match up. It's not healthy, right? If you could do it, you could do it, but it's still not healthy. So what could we do? Well, we could say on average, you want to lose 1% of your body weight a week. Okay, well, if you weigh 250 pounds, then it's going to be 2.5 pounds per week, right? For 10 weeks, and then 50 pounds would be 20 weeks. And so you'd say, okay, well, what's 20 weeks? Oh, it's about 5 months. And so you would set a realistic goal, and then you would stick to that, right? So that's what I like people to do, is set realistic goals so they can actually achieve it. But if they're falling behind, they can say, listen, this is a realistic goal. Why am I falling behind? And then we start to get into step number 3, which is write down under each goal what needs to be accomplished, okay? So in order to hit that weight loss goal, what needs to be accomplished? Well, the easy things that we start with are, okay, we're going to start with diet, meaning nutrition, doesn't mean deprivation, but it means good nutrition, and it means exercise. Okay, so we're starting with nutrition and exercise. And then if we start to plateau, what else are we going to do? Okay, we're going to optimize sleep. We're going to optimize hormones. We're going to optimize blood sugar. We're going to optimize thyroid. We're going to optimize cortisol, right? So we're going to do those things as needed as we begin to move down the spectrum of weight loss, right? So those are the things that we're going to do. Okay, you want to become a health coach? Well, you need to then sign up for a health coaching-based certification that you like, that resonates with you. Then you need to set aside a certain amount of time per day. We'll get to that in just one second. And then you're going to say, okay, the fastest I can accomplish this is, let's say, 12 weeks or 6 months. Okay, so then you're going to say, this is what I need to do in order to accomplish that deadline in this amount of time. So there you have it. So you want to write down everything that needs to be done so there's no surprises. Now, more things will pop up. There's no doubt about it. That's okay. You can only write down what you're aware of, right? So then the fourth one is this. And this goes back to my throwing out your to-do list. You want to organize your calendar because you can write down all the things that need to be done in order to accomplish your goal, but that doesn't mean you're going to do them. But if you actually schedule them, you put them in your calendar for a near daily basis, then you're going to be able to take action, right? It's all about taking action. So that's why I said this isn't based on just visualization. Visualization is the beginning. What do I want? What do I want my ideal life to look like? What do I want my ideal career or family or relationship or health or body or spirituality, right? Like, what do I want those to look like? That's where the enjoyment, the visualization comes about. We teach this in IHP Mastery all the time. The dream-based stage, right? The discovery stage, the design phase, the destiny phase. Like, you need to move through these things with yourself or with a wellness client. And the reason that we do that is because you need to first just open your mind up to possibility. Don't think about, because remember, your body and mind are already skeptical, like, oh, we can't do that. We already tried that. That didn't work. A friend of mine tried that. Didn't work for them either. So what we really need to do is just relax. We just need to just say, listen, maybe it'll come true, maybe it won't. But if it's my ideal life and this is what I want, let me at least have some fun and write down what it is that I want, okay? Then you'll narrow down that top 10, as I just said, to your top 2. 1A and 1B, those 2 need to be done this year, right? Then after that, okay, everything that needs to be done for all my different goals, and that might even change my mind, like, oh, maybe I don't want to do that because that's not the effort I'm looking to put in right now. Oh, this one has to be done. Let me write down everything that needs to be accomplished. Then I'm going to actually schedule it in my calendar, right? I want to actually schedule that so I know that it's in my calendar. It has to get done. I have to take action on it, right? So it's not just about visualization. Now it's about taking action. And the next part is this, and I totally agree with Brian Tracy in this. Don't take any days off from achieving your goals, okay? If the goal is important enough to you, you will take action every day. It doesn't have to be massive action. Massive action, you will burn out, right? If it's every single day. But if it's some action every single day, like working on your nutrition, 30 minutes of exercise, 30 minutes of study, 30 minutes of sitting down with just you and your partner, no phones, no TV, and just talking. Like, it's just write down what it is that needs to be accomplished, schedule it, and then take action every day. A little bit of action every day adds up to a whole lot of action over the course of a year. And I'm telling you right now, the reason most people don't accomplish their goals is simply not from a want, or they don't want it enough, they do, or they lack certain things. No, for the most part, they don't. Like, information is out there, trust me. And so you're able to accomplish those things. If you say, oh, I can't afford a gym membership, you have your own body weight and you have your living room or your podcast studio. You have a place that you can literally do body weight exercises, or you can buy bands like I just talked about on the last Friday review, which are just sitting there. That costs $30, right? And so, like, you can do those things. And so now it's just saying, okay, I just need to take action every single day, because some of us go strong for 1, 2, 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden a birthday party, a wedding, an event, travel, something comes up and it throws us off our routine. I'm telling you right now, keep it going every day. Just a little every day, whether you're on vacation or not. Once you get momentum going, yeah, you could take a day off. I'm not saying that. Or once you accomplish your goals, well, you're going to be able to take some time off from that goal and move on to the next. But you also want to understand that this is for you. It's not for anybody else. right? Take a day off if you want. Take a week off, take a month off, whatever it is. But remember, you're shortchanging you. That's it. Like, these are your goals. This is your life. If you don't decide to work on your goals now, when are you going to work on them? It's just going to get harder every single year. From non-action, from non-momentum. You need to start now. Accomplishing any goal gives you the confidence that you can accomplish the next. So knock one of those goals off your list, right? Take one and do it. Don't focus on 10. Take 1 or 2 maximum, like I said. Achieve it. Give yourself that sense of pride and accomplishment, not from an ego statistical based standpoint, but you is actually saying, listen, I set a goal. It wasn't necessarily easy, but I did it. And if I can do that, I can accomplish any other goal I set my mind to. And that's truly what it's all about. That's what Brian has shared with us over the many, many decades of his work, and something I'm trying to pay forward now as well. So hopefully this show was helpful. I do hope that you take action, you write down your goals, and you work those 5 steps. If I can ever be of help, simply reach out, leave a comment on YouTube, leave a comment on Instagram. We're here for you. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk with you soon. Ever wonder what the best sauna, blue blockers, sleep trackers, wake lights, salt lamps, or other health gadgets are? Or what about the top non-toxic mattresses, sheets, soaps, bath products, toothpaste, and cookware? Or would you like to know the cleanest choices for hemp parts, meal delivery services, supplements, and much more? I personally curated, researched, and now created a resource page of all of my top picks that continues to grow each week. These are the exact products I use in my own life, with my family, in my private practice, and they're the ones I trust. To find out all of my up-to-date recommendations and all the details, simply head on over to stevencabral.com/resources.